All right, everyone, welcome back to Cadem for another deep dive. And you guys are not going to believe this one.
Yeah, this is a big one.
It's crazy, right? So we've got a situation where classified military information about planned airstrikes in Yemen were leaked in a Signal group chat,
A Signal group chat, yeah.
which is pretty wild,
Yeah.
especially when you hear who was involved.
It is a big deal when you consider the players and the potential consequences here.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the accidental inclusion of a journalist from The Atlantic in this chat, the denial from the Defense Secretary himself, Pete Hegseth, the confirmation that came out immediately after that, the investigation that's going on right now, and like the bigger picture of secure communication in government. And oh yeah, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends because you really want to get the word out about this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the kind of story that needs to be shared.
So to get us started, let's talk about Jeffrey Goldberg. He's the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic. And on March 11th, he somehow ended up in this Signal group chat with some pretty high-level officials.
We're talking the big leagues here.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth, you mentioned him. JD Vance, the Vice President National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. Even Tulsi Gabbard and John Ratcliffe were in there.
It was a pretty high-powered group, and they were talking about some incredibly sensitive stuff, like details of the planned airstrikes in Yemen.
We're talking weapons, timelines, targets, the whole 9 yards.
And these weren't just like theoretical discussions. These
No.
airstrikes actually happened.
Right, they did, which makes this whole thing even more serious.
So can you imagine being Jeffrey Goldberg in that group chat and seeing all of that?
I can only imagine. Yeah, it's a journalist's dream and a security nightmare all rolled into one.
So Goldberg does what any journalist would do in that situation. He publishes an article about this accidental inclusion and all the sensitive information he saw.
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting.
Right, because Hegseth comes out swinging with a full denial.
Oh, yeah, he did not hold back.
Yeah.
He said, and I quote, "Nobody was texting war plans."
Flat out denying it, essentially questioning Goldberg's integrity.
But then the National Security Council comes in and confirms that those messages Goldberg reported were actually real.
And the NSC spokesperson, Brian Hughes, he acknowledges that there might have been some mishandling of classified information, and they launched an investigation.
Now, if you liked what you're hearing so far, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. We want to get this information out there.
Absolutely. So now we've got a situation where there's bipartisan criticism. Senator Chuck Schumer called for accountability, and everyone's speculating about what's going to happen to Mike Waltz.
Because he was supposedly the one who added Goldberg to the chat?
Right, but the White House is saying they still have confidence in Waltz.
It's a tricky situation for sure.
And then you've got President Trump's reaction. He basically dismisses the Atlantic and downplays the whole thing.
You know, classic Trump.
Yeah, he's saying there was no critical information compromised and that his administration's got everything under control.
Okay, but here's the thing. This isn't just some political drama. This brings up a really important question about using apps like Signal for official business, especially when it comes to classified information.
Right, because Signal's great for privacy, but it doesn't necessarily have the same level of security as government systems.
Exactly. And what happens when you've got people using their personal devices and apps for work-related stuff? It gets messy.
And potentially dangerous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So think about it. Even seemingly small details about weapons or timing could be really valuable to an adversary.
Yeah, and that could put lives at risk.
Absolutely. So the NSC investigation needs to figure out not just how Goldberg ended up in that chat, but also what the potential damage to national security could be.
So we're talking about a major security lapse, classified military details being exposed, a denial, followed by a confirmation, and now this investigation. It's like a textbook example of how the speed and convenience of modern communication can clash with the need for security.
And it's a good reminder that we all need to be careful about what we share online.
Especially if you're dealing with sensitive information.
For sure. And for those of you who haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future deep dives.
Yeah, we've got some really interesting stuff coming up.
We do.
So to wrap things up, this whole situation with the Signal group chat and the leaked information, it really highlights how important it is to have clear guidelines and training for government officials about handling classified information.
Especially in the digital age where things move so fast.
Absolutely.
And it raises an important question for all of us. What are the long-term risks to national security when we rely on these informal communication channels for top secret information?
It's something we all need to think about.
It is.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive. I hope you found it informative. And if you did, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends.
And leave a comment below letting us know what you think about this whole situation.
We want to hear from you guys.
We do.
All right, until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and stay curious.
See you next time.
Bye!